like that, and you'll be fine. But other than that, by the way, there's like no illegal spots apparently in MLG, or KC, as KC confirmed it. He said, unless something's brought to his attention, there's no illegal spots. So something like this, if like you have jetpack, it's really not a bad idea to come up here, and if you come off to the lip, it doesn't make you die. So that's not a bad spot to hang out at if like you are the guy distracting, and you can just keep checking your left and right. God, man, my controller is turning slow all the time. But yeah, so anyways, other than that, like, did you guys go through Forge at all and check out all the little spawn points on your own? Yeah. So like, you guys obviously got to see like where everything is, and just like remember like when what are the where in Team Slayer it's not as simple as it is in CTF. Like CTF it's like, I don't know, you cut off to one side of the map, but in TS, like at any given time, someone could randomly just spawn right here, and now like, is your guy up here going to be ready for that? Like, you gotta remember like where all the little routes that they can take to try and pretty much take away your setup, but at the same time, what you need to do is just literally stay alive. Like, if it's Team Slayer, like, and you're no shields up here, and you're like, oh man, I'm trying to hold this down, like, I need help. If someone on your team, all they need to say is, oh dude, you're by yourself, and you can literally just drop down and just play it safe, and then maybe if you have jetpack, it'd be sweet to come back up. If you don't worry about it, just come around. But you don't need to force any setups if you can. Like, if you're gonna die, just tell your team, like, does anyone have my help? And it takes a lot of practice, and a lot of like just literally repetition is huge. Just like I said, oh, I'm saying, like, you're by yourself, oh, I got your help, wait 2 seconds, like giving someone a time frame of how long they have to your help, rather than like, oh, I'm coming from this area, oh, I'm coming from street, or I'm watching here, I got your shots. All those little things of like giving someone a mental image of help is just so much bigger when it comes to setups. Because like if you have like a setup down, then someone is expecting something, So like if this guy's right here, he's no shields, but Mike over here doesn't know it, and he's like shooting like his ass off, like, dude, Eric, small door, and this guy's just like chilling here. All he needs to say is, Mike, I can't help you, I'm no shields, like, you gotta back off. And then next thing you know, that guy, Mike backs off, and I can assassinate someone. But instead, he might challenge to the death and then bitch at me when he does, because I don't say anything to him. So it's just like, it's seriously so huge to be to talk to each other about all that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, with Sniper, you obviously want them in the radio. Rockets, it's not a bad idea to have them over by Tri-Lift, because they're just so powerful, and like I said, it's a close range, so you're never really getting trapped. It's the reason that, or one of the main reasons that you might carry rockets in the radio is if you get jetpack. Like jetpack and sniper, jetpack and rockets, any stuff like that in the balcony is a deadly combo. So and I could go over all the little details of like, oh, what you can do in this situation, but in reality, the best way you'll get used to that is just literally by playing it and testing those things out. God damn it, this is already screwing up a little bit. But yeah, so it's so besides that, you just want to keep an eye out on everything. Like, it's not you can see window. I don't know if you guys know, but like, there's this little gap right here. So like, always use your vantage points to your advantage. You can see from here to window, and if they're coming up vents, or you want to like check the entryways at all times. Like, if your boy has down this small door, like clear, like both small doors, then all you need to do is just keep watching your lifts, and you could get baited as soon as you get shot. You can drop here and come back up, and he thinks that you left, and now you know what I mean. Then like, instead, people just challenge us to fight, and it's pretty much stupid. And you can come onto the catwalk or anything. There's just all the other ways that you really just want to force into holding that setup. Let me back out. Start a new one. Alright. Yeah.
I had a call out that I was not sure that I was going to see you guys today, and the other day was Bubble. bubble on that?
Okay, bubble is just normally the vent, like red bubble and blue bubble. It's like
I mean, that's what I consider it. It's just like like when you poured up those vents, they call them bubbles, I think. I mean, that's my take on it, at least. You know what I'm talking about?
The vents are by the catwalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So, here, we'll just start that back up. Do you guys have any questions at all, by the way?
The last time you were talking about positive energy around players, how far out did you say that goes for each player?
I'd say it's probably about 10 feet, but like I said, we gotta try and keep all that kind of talk to like a minimum on the stream, because that's my pride and joy shit.
Okay.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
One question.
Yes, sir.
And it's kind of dumb, but why is your Spartan a female?
Because apparently people say that the female Spartan actually has like it's less bulky, so it's actually harder to shoot, or it has a smaller hitbox. I don't know if it's true, but I mean, it can't hurt, so that's why I stuck with it.
It's psychological.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely some. My guy makes some queer screams and stuff like that when I die, in some weird occasions, but it's all right. It's worth it. So anyways, so like besides TS, obviously, so that's like your best strat. Obviously, like when you have perfect setup. Now, when let's say they have perfect setup, like ways to break it. You want to use things that pretty much change up the scene a little bit. When they have that perfect setup, do either have the jetpacks. Like if they don't have the jetpacks, you can easily orchestrate something. Like whether it's someone coming in, someone let's say coming up this back ramp and waiting right here, while his teammate comes up the jetpack and causes a distraction, and they work on the guy health pack. Or let's say you have even your two teammates come and jetpack it simultaneously up to the radio. Like you can always use different things. If they don't have the evade, whether you want to let's say they have perfect setup and jetpacks, then you might want to be waiting on the rockets to come up, or and get a setup to break rockets. Like now, if you're let's say down low and you're just trying to get top control, like if this is Halo 1 and it was like taken as seriously as it used to be, people would be camping so hard, like just waiting for the weapons to come back up. And like what could happen to a point is where you come down here because rockets are spawning at the garage door, and you're just waiting right here for the rockets to come down, or even right here, and your other two teammates can be in either the big door, like of each big door, or if they get lucky enough without getting seen, it's not a bad idea to be right here either, and like on either side, while the guy is still bottom try left, and then your last teammate could be the guy running for rockets. Now like something like that is very well orchestrated, and like it takes some time to get there, but like I said, if you actually take the time to hold on, I'm setting up, I'm going to red window, I'm going to blue window before rockets come up. Like I don't want to take the chances going up. Like yeah, you could take some teamwork. Let's say it's what is it, 12:10 they spawn. Let's say it's like 14 minutes, and they have full top control and everything set up. Yeah, you're not going to wait until 13:10 for the rockets to come up, and you might want to take a different approach. But if it's something like 13:30, I'm thinking 12:10. If it's something like 12:30 or something of that case, then all right, we only got 20 seconds. All right, let's try and set up. Someone getting each of the windows. I got bottom try left. Who's going for rockets? Type of deal. And you can set something up like that. So like I said, if you're orchestrated, you're obviously going to have the advantage. Now, if they're in radio and stuff like that, they're expecting one guy to go for rockets, or they don't know even know where you are. So if they come out peeking on these vents a little bit, they'll actually get drilled by not only the guy bottom try left, but also the guy in either window. And so that leaves this guy pretty open. At the same time, like if he gets shot from radio, it's not a bad idea to back off, because you have all two routes covered. They have to, if they're grabbing rockets, they can only go two ways. And obviously Charlotte is gonna hurt someone. He might get a few nades down there and has support up. There might be some bad scenarios and stuff, but at the same time, like as long as you just have those rockets in your sight, or wait, I can't see him anymore. Like you're by yourself now. Like, then maybe make a push for the Rockets, or, alright, screw Rockets, guys, they got them, just, like, pour it up, let's try and take advantage, like, while one guy's down. While one guy's down, obviously down low with Rockets, you can take the advantage and try and flank them, because everyone has attention on Rockets. When Rockets are coming up, in a serious game type, everyone's, yo, Rockets, like, it's a huge deal. So you gotta make sure that, you can, like, play off of that. Like, if you know a guy that's normally on health pack is always looking behind him, but now Rockets are coming up, he might come down the street to help out his teammates on radio. So it's not a bad idea to come up one of the tri-lifts and try and make a play. So, like, besides that, though, let's say it's just Sniper coming up at 13-10. Like, Sniper isn't as key as the other ones, but if they have top control, it's not a bad idea to just try and get prepared for Sniper. And when you want to do that is, like, same idea, like, only on each one of these corners here, because the problem is that people are always worried about, like the guys dropping down from S3 to S2 in front of them, and no, this guy right here doesn't have that angle, because there's always guys in the catwalk. So what you need to do is, obviously, take the one angle you can. Alright, yo, Sniper's coming up. Like, if I want to take, if it gets to, $3-4 years from now, and Halo Reach is being played for still, $100,000 or whatever it is, but then, like, and it's going to be serious, it will turn into a strat game type where it's that slow, and people don't, like, want to give up any deaths. So, if you take it as slow and serious as possible, it can get to that point. But obviously before it, just like everything is situational, like in between those rotations and stuff like that in Team Slayer. So what you, like I said, it's not a bad idea to orchestrate jetpack things. If you can get a guy coming up jetpack and then you can, like I said, come up balcony, it's not hard to take over, health back, and then make a move from there. You don't need to force it. Like, if there's two guys in the radios, alright, this one guy in the radio, like, maybe you work on the blue one. Yeah, let's focus on blue one, and you get a few angles down, a few nades, and then you get shot from red. Just hold your ground. Like, you don't need to force anything. It's a team Slayer, and you only have 50 deaths, so when you're going, 6 and 17 or something like that, that's a consistently meaning that you made a ton of bad plays. If, you go even or whatever, as long as you get around 12 deaths, and you, 7 and 12, yeah, it's a little bit bad. If you have a decent amount of assists, it's whatever. But anything more than 12 or 13, you're doing more than your part. Like, you can't be dying more than 12 or 13 times, because then actually you're, doing more than a quarter of your share. Just like in Team Slayer, you want to have, around a quarter of the kills. If you don't, then maybe make up for it assists. So you just always want to kind of use that as your guideline. Like, that's why when 20 kill games, and when you get a 20 kill, that's a big deal, because you not only took over 12 of your kills or 13 of your kills, but you also took over half of someone else's. So, that's always what you want to think about as setting the bar as a goal. Is just even going 12 and 12 isn't a bad goal to set if you're not pulling your weight in the first place. But then some people are support players. Obviously, you guys know about the roles in the game. There's like support, objective, Slayer, stuff like that, and also like an aggressive player. That's a huge deal too. So what you want to think about is like, oh, do I find myself, sprinting more towards a person and chasing, or do I find myself sniping more? Do I find myself sitting back more? Do I find myself being an objective player? Like, it's not a bad thing to classify yourself as that as a tendency, because obviously when you work with something more, it becomes your strong point. So that's just how anything is in life is. So if you do find yourself, oh, I think I'm a good objective player, tell your teammates that, like, oh, I don't mind running the flag more often than not. You can grab the sniper, and just literally telling all your teammates so that now they have an idea. And like I said before in the last lesson, like, the more you guys call each other, oh, John, I'm going for rockets. The more you guys hear those things in your head, you're gonna think, oh, this guy loves going for rockets. Oh, this guy loves coming up the vents. Like, every single time that you guys are talking to each other more and more is when you hear the tendencies of each other. Like, the reason I like giving, team lessons obviously are sweet, but at the same time, the reason I like giving individual lessons